Good afternoon, everybody. This is Kevin Stewart. I'm coming back at you with with my feedback for Module 5, Web Enhanced Listening and Viewing Strategies blog. So let's begin. Question 1. What is the most useful thing I learned in this module? The most useful thing I learned in this module is how to take notes, but also not just how to take notes, when to take notes. I think it's important that you should take notes on a subject. You should educate yourself on a subject to come up to speed as best as possible before, during, and after a lecture. I think the learning process really begins prior to that class as compared to college. It kind of said in the introduction that we're in charge of our learning and that you shouldn't just rely on the teacher, but you have multiple different resources: YouTube, Library of Congress, public library, the school library, college library, bevy of online sources, worldwide internet. It's a very long list. So I just take that as basically something I heavily learned with the Cornell method, the outline method, bullet point method, concept maps. Those 4 things. So question 2. What is specific example, something from this module I've already put into effect? I have already looked back at old notes, especially in engineering, because with engineering you have to be kind of very organized. It's almost like mathematics, extended mathematics questions from high school. So I found out that if I just kind of like outline my paper with the Cornell method, I can structure it in such a manner to where I basically have it set up, where I have it basically set up to where when test time comes, I already know. So I basically rewrite the question, step 1, step 2, step 3, step 4, A, B, C, D, almost like in the outline method, and basically, bam, if I see that question again, I already know how many steps I usually take, 1 or 4 steps, just like that. What I did from this module, because I put into practice in the future, as kind of like the kind of feedback off of the previous question. I'm gonna start taking notes prior to it. Get ahead of myself. Get ahead of the game. Start looking at the syllabus. Take a look at some of those. Take a look at some of those courses. Take a look at some of those concepts, and basically try to take notes via YouTube videos, so that way I can fully understand to what's going on. So when the academic lesson comes, I basically can compare and contrast notes, and now I know how to note take them. That's cool. What advice would I give? I think that this is real important for students and professionals alike, that the purpose of note taking is to become organized and efficient, so that when you get into the real world, you become organized and professional. You understand how to basically take large amounts of information, and be able to organize in such a manner where you understand it, to where you can see it, so where you can go back and fully comprehend the material. So I hope you guys understand this. I hope you guys kind of understood what I was trying to do with that. Just kind of If you haven't struggled, go and watch those videos on Cornell method, the outline method, concept method. I'm not a big fan of, but bullet point method, I'm a fan of that one heavily, so I've been using. So go ahead, watch that method, reorganize your notes after lectures, and that way you can basically become up to speed, and you know how you can basically be able to memorize information and present it in such a fashion so where you can basically know that you have full in-depth, deep processing behind the strategy. Thank you guys. That's my feedback.